Find out how you can help. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. You have the power to save a life. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
They're too young to vape.
E-cigarettes are the most used tobacco products among youth.
They know vaping is dangerous, don't they?
The majority of youth who vape use flavored products, the kind designed to seem harmless.
If they were vaping, I'd be able to tell.
Many vapes are small, discreet, and resemble everyday items. Don't avoid the conversation. Talk to your kids about vaping. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes? Their age? The way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. With the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sheri Tills.
All right, welcome in. Happy Sunday. Harrison Arns and the ones and twos, as always. Appreciate you guys joining in early this Sunday morning. You guys can always join in, 402-464-5685. This is What's Next 24. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, as always, back after last weekend. Shout out to Jake Bachman taking over for me. But got the host, as always, Mike and Sheri.
All right, well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to What's Next on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Mike, and I'm along with
Sheri.
I'm with Sheri. And Sheri, would you like to introduce our guest? Oh, we don't have a guest today. We don't have a guest today. Today, we thought we would do a special show today, calling it really pulling back the curtain, talking about what's Next 24, the book, and it's been a year since we've been on air doing this show, so we kind of pull back the curtain. But first, Harrison, we got to talk about you. How was the wedding last week? You went to a wedding?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Shout out to the Millers, Kaylee, Reggie. They got married. Craziest part of the wedding were the parents' name. It was Ron and Brenda and Rob and Brenda.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Which I just thought was very funny. But no, it was a fantastic wedding. Had it down there in Elkhorn. And the older you get, I'm sure you guys have this weddings where you appreciate it, where we just basically is like one of those classmate weddings where all your high school classmates end up being at that same wedding. So it was a Hartington wedding down there.
Well, very good. How many would have been in your class?
40. It's not like we're a massive class. It was really the two class ahead of me, and then class I'm current. Well, 2018 class, not really in it anymore, but yeah, 2018-19 class is good.
Well, that's fantastic.
Oh God, I bet that was just like a mini class reunion.
It really was. We kept saying it was the Hartington wedding in Elkhorn is what it felt like. But no, it was fantastic. Everybody had a great time, and everybody got there safe, which is always the important part when you're doing the wedding. So no, it was fantastic.
Oh, that's great. And of course, Jake was your substitute last week, which he always did fantastic.
Thank you, Jake.
Too.
Yeah.
Last week too, we had Chubb and
Tina
on Soulful Kachina. I thought that was Soulful
Cocina. Yeah.
Cocina. I want to make sure I can say it right. I didn't know I was saying it wrong. So thanks for that. But let's just kind of jump in. We thought today would be a lot of fun to pull back the curtain. And it is uncomfortable because Sheri and I really actually don't like to put the attention on us. This isn't about us. But we thought it'd be fun to share a little history, a little story about how, as we pull back the curtain, as we share the heart behind the mic and the story of what Next 24 was meant to be and all about, and why it matters. The hope that it fuels every episode. Harris and I got to say, we've been doing this for a little over a year, and I don't know about you, but I feel like there's chemistry every time we come in here. There's some electricity in the air.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think we've been doing this for a year already.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys see me. It's pretty easy to get going with the show at this point in time. You guys come prepared, and I think this might be like the second episode we haven't had a guest.
Yeah.
Which you guys, it was funny that you had some grief before we got on air, a little bit different. I mean, as far as shows goes, yeah, you could take a breather every now and then and just do the show and get to meet the host. But no, it's great. We've had numerous great guests throughout the little over a year now. Which one's your favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, not to pick a favorite. I shouldn't say that. Memorable moments.
Well, there's memorable ones. Well, I think there's a couple for us. I think number one, I mean, not to rank him, Adam Carricker.
Oh,
yeah, he's always
the
great.
Big presence of Adam.
Let me tell you,
coming in.
That was probably the funnest show that we ever did. I mean, it was so cool to hear his story, but he makes everything so fun. He's so animated. He's so intense, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And I absolutely adore him. I adore his wife, Angie. And it just, like you said, you can't say you had a favorite, but we were talking last night, and if he said, Mike said, what was your most favorite show? Well, not my most favorite show, but it was our funnest show.
And I think too was just to think about what's so joyful or fun about this that we didn't expect, but it's like coaching and teaching, the relationships that you build in here. And I'm sure, and we'll ask you a little bit more about that later, just in terms of your career and the relationships you build show after show after show. But I think of people like Ron Brown. Ron, every time when we hear Ron speak and just hear his words and his history and his background and his education and it just leaves a lasting impact throughout the week that it's like I can't stop just thinking about the things he says.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk about Husker football. And and he's one of my favorite shows. And I'm a little bit biased because I'm a man of faith too, but he just has a way of looking at life. I think there's a reason. He's a pretty local favorite.
Absolutely. And it was, first of all, when we had him on the show, it was like, I mean, I was so excited because he's always been not one of my heroes, but he's always been somebody that I admire. I always
good moron.
God, someday I hope I can meet Coach Ron Brown. And of all our shows that we've had, personally, he has impacted me and impacted the way I do things and the part of the way I live my life, and some changes that I know that I needed to make just by listening to him, even with his approach with football. His approach is coaching, and
Well, and you forget that these recruits are 17, 18, 19 years old and away from home, and the couple of weeks ago, Archie. I don't remember his last name.
Wilson.
Forgive me. Wilson. But just to see that his presentation at the conference and that quick breakdown of missing family.
It was real.
It was real.
He was very real.
And what was so beautiful about that got national attention.
Yeah, I felt it was funny. I felt so bad playing it on air. I only played it the one time because you could tell it just caught him off moment.
Yeah.
It's such a whirlwind of getting down to the US, I'm sure, from Australia. And like he probably just like never even had time to even think about that yet.
It just
and I
probably
think that's probably where it surprised them. And then I'll give him credit. Like he locks in on that interview and he finishes the rest of it. But I will say, since we did just have the official start of college football yesterday, with everything that's going on with the university football program here in Nebraska, it does give me some hope. You heard Terry Braden, Kansas City Chiefs defensive line coach, coming in there and really speaks big on like the student athlete part and still like Elijah Judy. And we're talking about Ron Brown. And yeah, that's a recruiting advantage when you can actually have a university that I think it's getting a little bit lost in today's era, not by anyone in particular. I think it just is, with all the money gets poured into it. It's nice to have coaches that are still harping. And you saw Matt Rule celebrate Elijah Judy, first-time graduate. Like that stuff still matters, you know. And then you got people like Tony Petitti talking about a 28 team college football playoff. It's like, this is still students. How long is a 28 team playoff bracket going to take? So it is nice and kind of mixing the sports reality here. We right now, you know, it feels like we have a university that's still putting importance on that student.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited. You know, and you, just as you talk about that, you know, Matt Rule, I really enjoy what I'm seeing is how he's evolving, how he's changing, embracing Nebraska.
He's lost a lot of weight. He's in his own little workout.
Oh my gosh, what is he doing? Yes, what is he doing? He looks tan and fit, and he's doing his own podcast now. The House.
Did you guys listen to the first episode?
We listened to the first
House
episode,
Rules.
The House of Rules.
Yeah.
I love the title.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that we're gonna have to start like cutting audio clips just from those because he's got a lot of great quotes in there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I was surprised he was gonna do it to begin with.
I love his reasoning. I heard why he wants to do it is I like it that he came from Penn State, played for Joe Paterno. And I remember that growing up in that era, watching Joe Paterno and Osborne and Tommy Bowden, all these iconic coaches that kept things pretty tight to their vest. You know, Joe Paterno never wanted media coverage in the locker room. And I don't think Osborne did either. I'm not sure. I just don't think that was something.
And that whole era, it was still, even like
much.
in the NBA, it was still kind of like breaking. I want to say like it's media in the locker room and all that stuff.
Yeah, kind of kept away.
Yeah.
But Coach Rule said in today's world and how what these kids grow up with, social media, and especially NIL and promotion. I liked how he had a mind shift. It was just a shift in thinking. Well, why shouldn't we be promoting UNL athletics and the players and the kids? So you have the House of Rules. Did you notice he was wearing a little bling too yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I will say he's got a lot of every time I see him, I'm like, what do those guys get for a closet in terms of the apparel that gets picked? Because they always have some of the sickest gear on.
I think some of the kids, I shouldn't call them kids, but some of these guys on the football team are starting to influence him a little bit, so to speak.
And rightfully
He's getting
so.
a lot
You
more
should have some
hip and
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
And you know, Sheri, getting back to what we're doing with Next 24. Remember, Matt Rule used to walk up and down the sidewalk here, walking his dog.
Yeah, I'll still see him every now and then.
And we
Then he came in for coffee.
and we got a chance to meet him.
And
So getting back to what we're doing with the show, I want to get back to the pre-planning of this show, or the hope for doing the show. We thought you have on 93.7 The Ticket, a lot of athletes, a lot of well-named people. And when you and I had written this book, first of all, let's even go back further. Sheri and I are a little older, a little experienced in our lives. And like you hear coaches, players, and people talk, we made good choices, we made bad choices. And sometimes over time when we made bad choices, they sting a little bit and they stick with us for a little while. And so maybe I should just stay in my lane and play safe and not venture out and think about my hopes, goals, and dreams and really, really achieve. And I think when we decided to write this book, there was a reason. Sheri, what would you say were some of those reasons?
big reasons. It's, like Mike said, you go through a lot of good things and bad things in your life. Both of us had come off of some really bad things at that point when we first met.
Mm-hmm.
And, before we even met face to face, we were communicating via email and text messaging and talking about some of our issues. And Mike had told me that he said, he goes, so many people are without hope. And I was at the point in my life where I was without hope. I mean, joy wasn't even a word that had been in my vocabulary in a really long time. And except for my grandkids. And he said, he goes, I've toyed with an idea of writing a book. I've got a chapter or two. Of course, right away I jumped on that and said, send them to me. I'd really like to read it, see what this is about. And he did. And I mean, my jaw just dropped to the ground. And it's like, people need this.
Mm-hmm.
People need this. And we discussed that. But, I mean, here we are, just two average Nebraskans,
Well, yeah,
going through junk. And it's like, could we really write a book?
Well, and I thought about, the purpose or just the general thought of it is, my background's teaching and coaching. I always loved athletics, love the athletic mindset, and there's nothing better for me, and I think for a lot of coaches at heart who love to be on the field, football field, early morning, the grass, the players, the sound, the young, seeing it all come together, seeing individuals come together as a team. It brings a lot of passion and joy when you do that. And I just realized I made a choice early in life. I got out of teaching and coaching, which I regret. I made a decision because I was not prepared for distractions, was not prepared for resistance or conflicts when you're young and teaching. And sometimes those things sting because you put your heart and soul into it. But fast forward, then the idea of we had COVID, and I thought, my children, and I thought about, I just kind of got away from living how I wanted to live my life. Instead of I lived a life of just surviving instead of thriving. And that's the theme I'd like to kind of share with everybody. How many people do that? And as we got older, I thought, this is the personal backstory of this. Sheri and I kind of thought about, what can we do that's important? What can we do to make a difference? Not to be, yeah, I guess for us, but not in an egotistical way. But someday when we're gone, when we're not around, we hope that this book is on a shelf somewhere. Someone pulls it off the shelf. It's kind of our own little legacy. It's just a book, but we just hope that it's words in a book. In fact, Harrison, if you minute, could you go to our website?
Mm-hmm.
Go to next24book.com. I just would like people to see it. Basically, the idea of the book is our journey, our story. It's nothing perfect. We talk about personal development, but you see it's so commercialized. The book is Next 24, Discover Happiness and True Joy in Your Life While You Create a Legacy. Well, the basic concept of the book, we just hope that people stop for a minute. If you're unhappy, it's just to stop, evaluate yourself, and ask yourself a couple questions. Is this what you really want? Is this how you want to live your life? And from today moving forward, how do you want to live it? Put it down on paper.
The other thing is, I think a big part of it when we started this is, how a good question to ask yourself is, how are people going to remember you? Mike and I have had a lot of loss in our life, a lot of loss, starting very early in life. And, I mean, not just grandparents dying and elderly people dying, but, both of us have had siblings that passed from tragic things, from health things. I mean, my sister, 16 years old, I was 20, literally dropped over dead at 16 years old. No explanation. 12 years later, my brother, my beloved best friend brother, same thing. He was living his dream, but he literally dropped over dead. Come to find out, it was a rare genetic heart issue, which thank God, me and my children and grandkids don't have it, but my mom did, my younger brother did. And life is just so unpredictable, and I find myself since then you go to a funeral and you mourn and you grieve. But if you look at it 10 years down the road, how many people remember that were at that funeral? How many people remember that person? And if they do, what were they remembered for? And that's something that when we started writing this book, like Mike said, not everybody's going to remember us when we're gone. But if this book is sitting on a shelf somewhere, or who knows, maybe they'll buy one at a garage sale and go, wow, this is exactly what I needed to hear at this moment in my life.
Well, just when we look at some of it, it was just, and everybody has their own path and goes through different things in life. We're not the only ones. Everybody goes through them. But people don't talk anymore like they used to.
No.
People don't get together. Maybe neighbors don't get together. And we just thought with the basic idea.
Part of the problem. And I'm sorry, I have to mention this. This is one of my pet peeves. Nobody reads anymore because of these things.
They use the social media. But in a nutshell, just to get a little bit of summary background in the book, we took what we thought worked for us in terms of just starting with acceptance of where we're at, looking back at the past and look at them as lessons instead of regrets. Maybe ask yourself the question, is there a need for change? If your heart is heavy and you feel like I need to change something, okay, think about just how you're going to do it. And we look at some of the things like either journaling, a bucket list, a dream board, the vision, creating a new path, and so forth. So we put this book together, but it was, of course, we had to find a publisher, and all these were lessons, and worked with Page Publishing was great. But the book was done, but I just wanted to share the backdrop of this. We have the book. We're so proud we've got the book, and then it's, oh my goodness, now what do we do? What do we do? We've got the book. We just didn't want to put it on Amazon, say, there you go. We wanted to do more. So then the next step was, of course, Sheri and I live in Omaha. I'm from Lincoln. Sheri's originally from Lincoln. But we went on and said, okay, we got to get the word out. And we landed in a place I want to share. They were one of our guests, was the Open Door Mission. So we, with Joel Casera and Steve Crazy, and we went to the Open Door Mission. And the Open Door Mission, we were able to do weekly workshops, class sessions, and it happened to be on the women's side and there were very young ladies in this classroom who has gone through many difficult struggles.
I'll tell you what, Mike, teaching that class and being a part of that group was such a blessing because, and that's the thing. You walk through things and you think your life is hard. But if you really go outside of your box and you really start digging into and working and volunteering with different organizations, you find that, hey, maybe things aren't so bad because there are people out there that are just, and we've had some of them on our show, some of these groups that help facilitate change and getting people back on their feet. But it was amazing, the stories that we were hearing,
stories that were told
from these women. I can't tell you, almost every single time we'd leave, I'd get in the car and start crying.
Well, and we were doing that as we were teaching that course, and it was great fun.
We were teaching our book as a course.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to attribute to, as we were going, we were working on this daily behind the scenes. We have a bedroom where we created a podcast room where we were doing
into an office studio.
And we didn't know how to set it up. We didn't have the equipment, how to do it. We bought books, we watched videos, we read, we started doing podcasts on Facebook. We created a Next 24 users group on Facebook, which I encourage people to go to. We want people to just share what they're doing, share what's going on in their life. And so I think everybody needs to hear everybody's story.
Which, by the way, Sean Turner, who was on our show, thank you for posting that meme that you posted yesterday. And believe it or not, I needed to hear what you posted.
I know we're going to have to take a break here soon, but I want to get into the story of how we ended up at 93.7 The Ticket with DP and Rebecca.
And Harrison.
So with that, I think we need to take a break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their third annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's third annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
If the power is out, traffic lights might be too. If you come across a dark intersection, treat it like a four-way stop. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Hi, I'm Casey Oddie, and I'm the Retail Banking Manager at your local Midwest Bank branch on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Banking may be my job, but supporting the community is what I care most about. Whether I'm showing up at local events, partnering with schools, or helping people reach financial milestones, I am proud to be a part of what makes Lincoln strong. Let's build something together. Stop by and say hi. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back to What's Next 24. From the 93.7 The Ticket studio, with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sheri Tills.
All right, welcome back in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. This is What's Next 24, segment number 2. You guys can join in 402-464-5685.
Well, welcome back, everyone. We're just talking about Next 24. We happen to be our own guest today, but
it's kind of weird.
But we're throwing back the curtain a little bit about how Next 24 came about, how the show came about, and why. And what I want to point out, the idea was this show is meant. What's special to me, Sheri, about this show. This is meant for maybe it can be for the teacher, it could be for the bus driver, it could be for any people, all walks of life, who have a story to share, who get to come in studio and share a story, something significant that they feel that's important in their life. They don't have to be superstars in athletics, even though we love to have those people on.
But you know what? Now that you brought that up,
yeah,
we've had some really cool. I mean, some of my Husker football heroes on. But to hear them sit down and tell their story from beginning to end, you don't realize some of the struggles that these people went through at a very young age.
Right.
I mean, they have these natural God-given talents where, they've played football, they've moved up to NFL, but when we heard their stories about how they got there, some of them have brought tears.
It's enjoyable to hear the behind the curtain stories.
Right.
Going back to then how we came about is I reached out to DP. I want to give a shout out to Rebecca and Derek Pearson, the owners of 93.7 The Ticket. First of all, this is just a gorgeous studio, beautiful studio at 1040 O Street. If you haven't been here, come down, check out the lobby. You can come down and get at the mill. You can
wait half an hour though. So still got half an hour before you walk in.
Yeah, don't be down here yet. You'll be waiting at the door. But it's just a fabulous place to be. But we got to meet Derek. He was at that time he was broadcasting with the Supernovas. He was doing his show up there. We met him down at the stadium down there during the game. Gave him a book.
In fact, Strick was doing the show outside with him.
We gave him Oh yeah, he was out on the court as well. But we gave him the book and we just said, "Hey, can we meet with you? We just want to talk to you." And we were nervous as all get out. Here, who are we? We're not superstars by no means. But our hopes and dreams, as we keep talking about on the show, was, wouldn't it be fun if we could do a radio show about using this book as a concept for people to share their stories? And Derek paused. You get that DP pause.
Mm-hmm.
Like poker face. You couldn't tell. It was like, ooh, I don't know if he's going to go for this or not. Right.
But he agreed. He agreed to set up a meeting.
And we talked. And we sat down at the conference table, and DP, how he is. Of course, I didn't know DP's background either. DP has a heck of a story himself.
Yeah, he's a journeyman. It takes a while to get the full background on the guy.
Yeah.
To this day, I still get stories on him.
He was one of our first guests.
Sports, his background,
his health issues,
coaching issues, his own personal health issues that he fights through, his love for every day that he counts every day. So he's got a lot. I like to think of him as a coach and a philosopher and a great teacher.
He's got a unique network.
Mentor.
Guys talking about a lot of his.
He knows a lot of.
Yeah.
Knows a lot of people. Shares a lot of things. But we sat down,
and he loves feeding the wildlife outside.
And what I loved about what Derek just said, he says he just loves the idea of having people come on to share a story, and I think that's wonderful. So, getting into that story, one of the first persons Derek recommended that we talked to, would you grab that book? That's right. Is Ricky Simmons.
We met
Ricky Simmons.
He had us meet with Ricky off air.
Yes.
And we sat down on a Sunday night with Ricky for, almost 45 minutes before his show.
And if you don't know, Ricky Simmons, former Husker wide receiver turned motivational speaker. Ricky's journey from addiction to incarceration to redemption is the cornerstone, really, of what's next. His story is really important to us. And he's got 2 books. This is one of his books right here.
The 365 Days of Redemption. We've read out of it before as motivation, affirmation, and just his whole story is amazing. His show is amazing. It's on Sunday nights at 7:00. And we love Ricky. We haven't seen him very often, and we're still trying to twist it. Ricky, I hope you're listening, because we're still trying to twist your arm to come on our show.
And he was with Adam character
yes, you were
earlier
with
in the
Adam,
week.
so now we're next. But if you don't have this book, get it. It's amazing. He also has a story, or he also has a book out about his life. And if you can read that thing from cover to cover and not shed numerous tears, there's something wrong.
Well, what's so great about Ricky, after he left the NFL and he found himself in trouble, he found hope through a letter from Tom Osborne while in prison. That moment changed everything for him. And we just love hearing Ricky's story. And today, Ricky is a certified drug and alcohol counselor. So his story is very wonderful. So we heard Ricky talk, and it was like, wow. And Harrison, I got to ask you, put you on the spot. Funny question. What you must have thought when DP said you're going to produce this show, be part of this show with Mike and Sheri, you're probably thinking, who are they?
And for crying out loud, why do I have to be at the station so early on a Sunday?
Yeah, what have you gotten me into?
Yeah, I mean, all transparency, like not even being biased. The 7 a.m. that did come into consideration. That was the tougher part to handle. But no, I mean, a lot of the shows, and again, I'm not just saying this because I work here. It's typically worked out pretty well. I credit DP Rebecca just having a good eye for, I think sometimes we overcomplicate it. I mean, for the most part, you're just looking for genuine people.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to tell their story? And I think that's kind of the roundabout thinking anyways of DP. Maybe it sounds a little more philosophized than that, but I mean, if you just get genuine people, they're typically going to tell good stories. If they're trying to sell themselves or sell something, you typically get a lot of, for lack of better words, just bad air, like where it just feels forced. So
yes,
I think they've done a good job just identifying people in the community who have genuine good intentions.
And certainly we were very nervous. We were not professionals at this, but it has become a labor of love. We enjoy this show every Sunday. We look forward to doing this. And I think we've kind of found our groove, even though we're still growing, evolving. But Harrison, I'll put you on the spot a little bit just for some fun talking about you. What's your typical day like at the station for you?
Oh man, it's a lot of, it depends. So we usually get here middle of the afternoon, and then we're basically here until things wrap up. So whether that's 10 p.m. or if it goes later, as fall's coming around here, so we'll have a lot more late nights with student athletes being back. But essentially, you hop in here, podcast, start making sure everything's done, work on clips, and then luckily right now I got some helpful for interns. Shout out Tristan, Rudy. Those guys are coming in more and more, helping out, and really just kind of holding the ship so it steers at night. That's kind of my job. And then same thing for the weekend. So shout out to like Austin Norman and the day crew. They keep the ship going in the middle of the day, and then weeknights, weekends, that's my job. Make sure the ship stays in line.
Well, you do an amazing job, but we can't thank you enough because we look forward to seeing you every Sunday.
And not only that, but you have some shows that you host.
Oh, you do.
During the
you host
evenings
some
that are
great
just
shows.
amazing. We watch the shows, and I'm telling you what, you were made for this.
Yeah.
You were made for
and
this.
you tell great stories too in all your shows, and you're able to pull that out. Let me ask you how have you seen this show evolve yourself? If just from your gut feeling, have you seen it change?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main value of the message has stayed the same, but I just think with any show, you guys are more comfortable. I mean, now you guys hop in here and you kind of slide in, you know who the guest is, and I mean, at this point, it's just more polished. This ain't any better, but I mean, the message hasn't changed, and I don't think there's any problems with that. I don't think the message ever really needed to.
No, it's been fun, and it's fun to hear just from your perspectives. We don't get a chance to ask you that much about it. Is there any particular interview or guest that just, if you can, sticks in your mind that you go, wow, that was pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, anytime, I think it might have been like Fitzgerald or I forget, it was Sheriff that you guys brought in here.
Oh, Ben Houchin?
Might have been.
Well, there's Ben Houchin.
It was the very first one. I think it was Terry.
Oh, and then it was Terry Wagner.
Yeah,
Terry Wagner was the chef.
Anytime I hear, just because there's certain jobs I know I could never do, and anything in the police department I know is just, I could bang on my chest when I'm not in there. But I mean, as soon as you get in a real bad situation, and I think people just think of pulling stuff over, and because it's early in the morning, I won't say like the real awful stuff that you got to consider when you're a cop, the stuff that you got to pull up and see, and then talk to, like, Yeah, it's just a lot of baggage.
Yes.
I think like suicide is one of the biggest,
Yeah.
biggest problems in that community of just getting those guys help. So anytime you hear stuff like that, I think it's a good eye opener. See what those guys are coming through. And then I mentioned it before, but just Ron Brown, he does a good job just constantly putting on you. There's no real finish line.
No,
You just every day you're just trying to enjoy the journey and however you get through. And try to find your purpose. I mean, as long as you're trying, and Ron Brown does that. I mean, you see him with the Bible; he's just scribbling on that thing like a madman. But
yeah.
I mean, that's just he finds passion in doing that, and he takes pleasure in every day. And I always get that message from him.
And I think that's the common thread in all these stories that people get to share is the passion from their heart, their mind, and spirit. They want to make a contribution. They want to make a difference. We have really loved the platform, and we just want. This is for the community. We want to kind of look outward. This is not for us. This is for the community, the individuals. We want people to share their story. We want people to become guests or contributors. We are looking for sponsors. We are looking for advertisers. We are looking for people that want to come on the air. Share before I forget too, talk about Baca. We have a box here for a jean jacket drive. Can you share that?
We had, and this is, I mean, once again, you can't say it was my favorite show, but one that had a really big impact on me was Baca, Bikers Against Child Abuse, only because, and I mentioned during that show, I was a victim of sexual child abuse from a teacher in 5th and 6th grade. And anyway, we have a box out here in the lobby at 93.7 The Ticket. Baca uses jean jackets and jean vests to kind of make these kids feel like they're a part of something. Their motto is no child should live in fear. They use these jean vests and these jean jackets. They are a nonprofit organization. Right now, a lot of nonprofits are really, really struggling because of the way the economy is. And so we are doing a drive for used jean jackets, jean vests, for crying out loud. If you have to go to Goodwill or a thrift store, they don't care. Bring your jean jackets, bring your vests, bring them down, throw them in the box. It's right when you walk in the door, throw them in the box, go have a cup of coffee at the mill.
Yep, 1040 Street, right on the corner.
Yeah. And this is such an important thing where the community can be a part. And it's so simple, and it won't cost you hardly anything.
With that, Sheri, why don't you say we got to take a break?
And on that note, once again, Harrison just brings me down when he says we got to take a break and when he plays the music at the end, because I'm usually not done talking.
All right.
But we have to take a break now.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Male. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Male can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmale.com. That's limitlessmale.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Sometimes it's hard to know if substance use is becoming a problem, especially when it becomes part of daily life or social routines. Take the free assessment, Is Your Substance Use Harmful, at myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can understand your risk. You can take the assessment anonymously. In just minutes, you'll get practical, non-judgmental guidance and resources to support your health and well-being. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant. Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com. MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed, with 10 locations throughout the state, from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, in need of an ag loan, or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sheri Tills.
All right, welcome in. Final segment. What's Next 24? You guys are getting any last second comments via the Starter Hand and text line or any of the streams. That being said, there's your host, Mike and Sheri.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Mike again with What's Next, along with Sheri and Harrison. This hour is going way too fast. We could talk about this for a couple hours. We just want to welcome back. We just want to go through it and mention a few quick things. That our book, Next 24, is available on Amazon.com. It is on sale right now for $27. We want to also mention, too, that if you're wanting to be a guest or would like to sponsor Next 24, we would give you a free book along with a Next 24 cup that would be free as well. So we'd love to have you on.
Mike must have got a raise.
I got a raise. Yes, I did. I got a raise, so I can pay for that. So I'll be glad with that. But I really want a shout out to a call to action. I mean, I want people to know that this show is for you. Any story is a good story, I think, anymore. So it's about growth and transformation. I think what makes this show unique is that it isn't just for celebrities, but it's for everyone. That's what's important. We want you to have a voice because it matters. I think your voice does matter. And I want to mention too, again, some people that we've had on that had a major impact. Ben Houchin, Lancaster County Deputy Sheriff, talked about his cancer story. J.C. Massey, if you're listening, J.C., congratulations on the work you're going to be doing at the Lincoln City Mission. Ricky Simmons, your journey is unforgettable. Of course, Baca and the story that you have, and many, many more that we have.
Linda, that we just had on.
Oh.
With No More DV.
Belinda. Yeah, Belinda Hagen.
Yeah.
No More DV. That was a powerful story. I commend you for coming on to the show so quick to do that. I also want to pivot to the power of books. We've got several books that just out there. If you're in a rough mindset or you want to think, I want to pull a book that I want to give a shout out to Rebecca Pearson. Her brother, I hope I say his name right, Daryl Kirkpatrick has a book out. You can see that. It's called 2 Sticks, 1 Path, A Journey Beyond Fear on the Colorado Trail. It's an outstanding book that I think that you would want to look at. Sheri, you've got another book from Billy Graham. I just think it's a daily devotion.
We use this one every day.
I just want to point out, I think daily devotions are very, very powerful. Ricky Simmons always talks about he's got to look for that thread, that silver lining of the thread. He looks for it to be happy every day, which I think is really powerful.
It's a choice.
Sheri, you've got some things you wanted to share.
Yeah, because we're running out of time as usual.
As usual.
But, Mike talked about why we did the book, how we did the book, but I just want to say who we did the book for. And this was our plan. And so I just need to say that the main gist of why we do the book, why we do the show is, of course, for the community, of course, for the people in Omaha, Lincoln, the surrounding areas. But the most important people we did this book for was our kids and our grandkids. And I just need to mention that, my daughters, Shelby Gill, Carly Anderson, Mike's daughters, Cassie Jackson, Taylor Worrell. Those are the main ones. And Mike's grandchildren, too. We have 8 between us. And the other one that we did this book for was, and we had just had our book published. And I talked about this just briefly, that I lost my youngest daughter a few months after our book was published. And we do this also for Hannah, to honor her memory, to honor what she was all about, because she was all about love. She was all about people. She was all about joy and happiness. There was nothing else, nothing bad. There was no sadness. There was no hatred, nothing in her life. And I'm just going to hold this up. Mike brought this, and I wasn't expecting him to do this. This shakes me up a little bit. This was the program that we had at her memorial service. And I just kind of want to throw this out there, that for all of you people that listen to our show, and for the community, Omaha, Lincoln, once again, the surrounding areas, it's not just Lincoln, but the one song that defined Hannah, she was all about music. And the one song that defined her, and I know you'll know it when I start reading just the quick chorus. And I promise you I won't sing it, but you raised me up so I can stand on mountains. You raised me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raised me up to more than I can be. You raised me up to more than I can be. That's what this show is about. We want to raise people up to more than they think they can be, to more than, and not just people, the nonprofits, the local businesses. We want to help you start raising up.
Let me say one more thing before we turn it over to you again, Sheri. Is what's the future hold for Next 24 and hopefully for the studio? I just want to give a little glimpse that if you're looking to want to be on the show and tell your story, contact us at the radio station. Harrison, what's the main number to call here?
Go to theticketfm.com. The studio, the actual office number, I can't think of the top of my head. But of course, there's the Sartor Hammond text line. If you call in at 402-464-5685, you might not get the help that you need. But if you call that office number, Again, ticketfm.com.
Yep.
You can find it on there. And then if no one answers, just leave a voicemail.
And ask for Nick or anybody here at the station.
Yeah,
to
Nick
be
Sainer
able
and
to-
Austin
be able
Norman.
to help you.
We'll all hook you up if you need it.
Also, with that, Sheri and I are available if you'd like us to come out and talk in a small group setting, whether it be your church or local coffee shop or what you're doing. Also, if you're interested in maybe doing your own podcast, maybe there's an idea down the road here, either at the station, that you can start looking at. We would be happy to assist you if you want to develop your own podcast.
We will come in. We will come in after work and kind of guide you and help you
and guide you through that. If you don't know all the technical and don't want to use all the equipment, we have a way to help you. And I also want to, if you want to come down to the station and meet Rebecca and Derek DP. Derek has a great book out called The Impact of Influence. You can also come in great clothing. Sheri, real quick, what's the last thing you want, or what do you want to say to the community before we get out of here?
I don't do things real quick, but I'll try. We just want to thank you all for listening. We thank you for those of you that have reached out to us. We've had a couple of people say, I listen to you every Sunday. I mean, that means the world to us. You sit here in the studio and you're talking, but is anybody really listening? But just not just keep listening, but reach out to us. We want to tell your story. It doesn't matter if you're famous. You don't have to, in your mind, be anybody. We want you on this show.
Your voice matters.
Yes.
Harrison, thank you. Sheri, thank you.
Yeah.
We will see you next
Harrison.
week.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of